Today we're going to go over part 5 of the athlete warm-up series, and we're going to cover stretching. Stretching can be broken down into two components, static stretching and dynamic. Now there's a lot of research showing that static stretching can reduce power output if done prior to competition or training. But we also know that lack of flexibility in our athletes can increase the risk of injury, which is why I like to include static stretches in the beginning of the warm-up. Now there's a lot of research showing that stretching a cold muscle actually leads to increases in tissue length compared to a warm muscle. So that's why I like to include it in the beginning. Then I like to move on to a dynamic stretch toward the tail end of the warm-up, because then we include the movement component that's required for it to be considered a dynamic stretch. So we're going to use the quadricep muscle to illustrate a static stretch and a dynamic stretch. So for a static stretch, we could do a pull back butt kick hold. Okay? Now, if we want to make that a little bit more dynamic, we can include a lunge to overhead reach. So this would be called a walking lunge to overhead. So pull back butt kick to walking lunge overhead reach. Sorry, such a long name. So here, walking lunge overhead reach. And then we would just transition to the other leg right away. And we're able to get a balance aspect and a coordination aspect, which is good and is what we're looking for prior to competition or the training session. So I hope that you're able to see the value in both static stretching and dynamic stretching, and why it's important for both of those to be included in the warm-up.